The girl rubs her foot back and forth across the man's face, while morbidly asking if he likes it. The man desperately struggles, but with his limbs tightly bound to the bed, he can only beg the girl to let him go. The reason for his pitiful situation goes back to just one day earlier, when two rain-soaked girls knocked on his door, using the excuse of seeking shelter from the storm, and asking to stay the night. The man initially wanted to refuse, but when the blonde girl suddenly sneezed from the cold, he felt a moment of compassion. Seeing them both completely drenched, he ultimately decided to help, and generously invited the two girls inside. When he noticed the girls putting on shoe covers to avoid dirtying his floor after entering, the man completely dropped his guard. He felt he had been too cautious before, so he hurried to the bedroom and thoughtfully brought out 2 blankets for them. Not only that, after learning their phones were damaged by the rain, the man immediately called a rideshare for them. However, due to the heavy rainfall, the driver wouldn't arrive for another hour. To prevent them from getting sick, John not only provided clean bathrobes, but also kindly prepared hot coffee, and even offered to dry their soaking wet clothes by taking them to his dryer. But just then, a commotion came from the living room. John rushed out to check what was happening. The girls had turned on his record player without permission, and were dancing around with his dog. Seeing their interest in his records, John immediately became enthusiastic. But surprisingly, after he shared just a bit of his expertise, the two girls embraced him from both sides, their eyes full of admiration. This sudden development left John completely flustered. He quickly moved to sit on another couch, but a moment later, one girl claimed she'd been sitting too long, and her back hurt, then casually moved next to John, and placed her hand on his shoulder. John hastily stood up and moved to another couch, but unexpectedly both girls followed and sat down with him. These repeated close encounters made John suspect the girls might have ulterior motives. To prevent their next advance, he quickly went to the record player and started some music, trying to divert the girls' attention. But to his surprise, as soon as the music began, the blonde girl started dancing enthusiastically beside him, and invited John to dance along. Fortunately, a notification about the rideshare's arrival made the blonde girl stop what she was doing. To get the girls out quickly, John hurriedly retrieved their clothes from the dryer, but at the bathroom door, the two girls delayed coming out. Worried the driver would leave if kept waiting, John had no choice but to cover his eyes and enter the bathroom to hurry them along.